Welcome to another exciting episode of KOS. And I am so happy to bring you this episode because this is my, how can I say it, revenge on the MCU episode. I feel that there's a level of disrespect. And it's all handed out to my boy Clint over here. Clinton Francis Barton, better known as Hawkeye. This is Sideshow's exclusive Hawkeye. And let me tell you, man, I'm so pleased to bring this statue to you. But let me tell you why I feel like the MCU has disrespected Hawkeye. First, let's not overlook, let's address the fact that old boy went missing in one major movie. Yeah. And everybody was left to say, what was he doing? What was going on? What's everything with him? Type of thing. But let's rewind all of this. Let's go to the comic books. Let's get down to why I feel that this character is disrespected. First of all, let me tell you something. You see how big this dude is? You see how robust and strong he is? I'm just saying, Mr. Reiner just really doesn't measure up to this guy's stature. This guy, at one point in time, impersonated Captain America just to get by in the episode. Not only is Hawkeye an accomplished archer, marksman, tactician, acrobat, he's great at fencing. He was trained by the swordsman, and the swordsman is the premier weaponsmith when it comes to blades in the Marvel universe. There's not much more I can say as far as his powers because he's at peak human condition at all times. I always thought that he was an outstanding example of how a villain becomes a hero. He first debuted it in Tales of Suspense, I think it was 57 or 53. And he was a villain. And I think everybody wanted him to be a good guy so bad because when he debuted it, brought back up again because he debuted it in Tales of Suspense. When he came back again in Avengers 16, he became, it was a long story going through, but he became a part of the new Avengers. And also, he is so versatile. He has many aliases that he had went by, many forms of him, the character, because he's such a likable character. He was Goliath, the Golden Archer in a Captain America book, and also Ronin. You got a chance to see Ronin in the MCU for a very brief stint, and I believe that character was misused. I believe that you didn't get a build up to why he was Ronin. I mean, you got a small synopsis. You thought it was supposed to be okay. I think they always didn't. MCU didn't always understand exactly where he fit in the universe. To be honest with you, you know, you have him battling with gods and super soldiers. And here he is, this regular guy, but they found a place for the Black Widow, which she was underused as well. You know, this guy in the comic books, when he first got his own book, all right, his first book was Hawkeye, and I remember reading it, and I'm like, man, I was so enthused by the book because of what he's able to do. He used to drive this Sky Cycle, and it was just a very good read. You know, it's not much things that he can't do. So the fact that he's so versatile and in the MCU he's so limited, that kind of, you know, frustrated me to death. You only thought that he was the Arrows guy, and it's not just that. You know, seriously acrobatic. All right. So you say going into this, you also thought he was some weird love triangle that he had with the Black Widow, which was never real. in the comic books, his love interest is Mockingbird. And they formed the West Coast Avengers. Yes, Hawkeye was in charge of his own team. Do you know how huge that is? Like, he's not a sideshow dude. He's not a no pun intended sideshow. he's not a second-rate character, a 2-bit character. He's a premier character in the MCU, and well, not in the MCU, in Marvel Comics. So for him to have this backseat role, I understand you have stronger characters, but come on, man. Remember when y'all saw Ant-Man grow really big and he was Giant Man? Well, in the books, he did that. He was Goliath for a while. He was the strong man on the Avengers. He was the muscle. So again, you say to yourself, why couldn't they find a better role? Why they couldn't work him in a little bit better? I think they tried to clean it up in what was it, the Infinity War, and I just thought they didn't clean it up properly. First, I love that costume. The fact that he was never in his costume, I know it looked a little corny, but come on, man. You had Captain America in his corny suit. You had Thor in his corny suit, even with the helmet. You had Iron Man in his corny suit. But you ain't put him in his corny suit, which I love. Man. So, let's get this straight. First of all, a lot of you guys is going to ask me, who came first, Green Arrow or Hawkeye? Isn't he a ripoff? Okay, in a sense, he is a ripoff because Green Arrow came out 2 decades before he did. But when he debuted, when Hawkeye debuted, he was a villain. Never debuted as a hero. He was converted into a hero because everybody loved him so much. Had to get him his own book, right? So now he's a hero. Who would win in a fight? Hawkeye will win in a fight. Hawkeye is not as reliant on just arrows and trick arrows as Green Arrow is. Hawkeye is a supreme tactician. He can turn anything into a weapon like Bullseye. He is a very lethal hero. The fact that you guys don't get a chance to see him in all his glory kind of sucks. But here I go. KOS. I'm bringing you this bad boy right here. The reason why I got this statue is because, again, let me tell you, I can't understate it more or overstate it more to you because he's been understated for so long. I can't overstate it more to you that he is a key part to the Avengers. Without him, let's say you take our Captain America on the field, he can actually step in that role as a tactician and map out exactly how to win the fight and win the battle, actually give commands and lead. So Hawkeye is a supreme leader and also a great fighter. The statue in his action pose. Look at that dynamic pose. This is one of the first dynamic poses that Sideshow has put together. I know the base, I'm kind of disappointed in the base. The base is really bland. You have the black cylinder at the bottom and you have the rock sticking out, but form factor, it works in that manner. But then you also have the dynamic pose with the arm out as he's just finished shooting the arrow and him holding the bow, and you have more bows in his quiver, and it's mixed media. As you can see, his toga part that hangs in between his legs, that's made out of material. And it hangs perfectly. You can actually pose it a little bit so you can have it like blowing in the wind or whatever. But the dynamic pose of it alone has sold it on me. And I needed to have him help finish off my Avengers collection. I can't state it enough. XM did one, but I went with the Sideshow one because I felt that the Sideshow one actually captured the Hawkeye essence. Even the portrait shows action. The whole portrait is action wise. The hands is action. The pose is action. the leg being bent. He just shot the arrow, his action. And if you want a statue that just exhibits action and you're a fan of Hawkeye, I suggest you hunt this statue down. You're going to pay a pretty penny for him if you can get him. And also double check your boxes, make sure that the bows don't come broken. I know a lot of them, the bows is broken, so be careful when purchasing off of eBay. All right, but that's the only way you're gonna get them. You're not getting them from Sideshow right now. This came out a long time ago, but it's new to me, and I love the statue, and he's gonna be exhibited in my Avengers section. So thank you guys. This is a part in the video when I tell you like, follow, and subscribe. Also, go to lordsofgaming.net where we have all the information on everything, the new trade shows, the new KOS, the old KOS, Combat Talk with the King, the Last Word with Cognito and Ebantis, where you can get all that looter shooter news. Trust me, you don't want to miss that stuff, especially with the new DLCs about to drop and the new games coming out. You do not want to miss that. You don't want to miss the reviews with Lord Addict. Lord Addict's reviews right now are creeping up there to be some of the top reviews that you can get. And I'm gonna tell you right now, no one can finish a hard game like that man can. So if you need all the information, go to lordsofgaming.net. We got you. Now stick around so you can see this statue in all its glory. There's a ton of pictures, you can listen to the music, and don't have to hear me talking. See you next week when I give you somebody that is pretty strong.
By this act, I rule.